Welcome. This is a lesson over how to add and subtract fractions. In fifth grade, you spent many days learning this lesson, so this is a rehashing of it. Arnold purchased 4.5 cakes for a wedding. He gave 1 1/3 cakes to the groom's family and 1 3/4 cakes to the bride's family. How much cake was left over for Arnold? I would like you to explain this through pictures or fraction bars or arithmetic. So, how would you like to explain this? All right, so many ways to solve this. So let's see, he started with 4.5. He started with 4.5 cakes. He gave 1 1/3 cakes to the green family and 1 3/4 cakes to the bride's family. Two ways you can set this up. Would you like to subtract or take away 1 1/3 from 4 1/2 and then get an answer? And then take away 1 3/4 from that answer? Or would you like to figure out how much he gave away in all? 1 1/3 and 1 3/4. And so figure out how much he gave away in all and take away from the original quantity he started with, 4.5. I prefer the latter, the second way. I think it's faster and easier to work with. So, again, he gave away 1 1/3 and 1 3/4. And then we're going to take away, once we find out how much he gave away in all, we're going to take away from the original quantity. What do you remember about adding and subtracting fractions? Look closely. 2, 3, and 4. What do you notice about the denominators? Hopefully you'll say they need to have a common denominator. So what does 2, 3, and 4 all share in common? For the halves, thirds, and fourths. So halves, thirds, and fourths. What fraction do they all share in common? It would be 12ths. So let's rename it. How can I rename 1/2? I can rename it as, let's see how many 12ths. 3, 4, 12, 5, 12, 6, 12. So I can rename 4.5 as 4 and 6 12. How could I do that through arithmetic? What is the scale factor from 2 to 12 times 6? So it's 1/2 is 6 12. 1/3 now. How can I rename 1/3 as a 12? 1 12, 2 12, 3 12, 4 12. So I can rename 1 1/3 as 1 4/12. Again, how could I do that through arithmetic? Multiply both the numerator and denominator by 4. Next one, how can I rename 3/4 as 12? 1 12, 2 12, 3 12, 4 12, 5 12, 6 12, 7 12, 8 12, and 9 12. Again, how could I have gotten it? I can multiply the numerator and denominator by 3's, so it's 1 9 12. So let's see how much cake he gave away. 1 4 12 plus 1 9 12 is 2 whole. 4 12 plus 9 12 is 13 12s. Oh, goodness gracious. What do you notice about this fraction 13 12ths? Well, first of all, I notice that the numerator is greater than the denominator. That is called improper fraction. What do you remember about improper fraction? Do you remember how to turn that to a mixed number? So we have, let me take these away. We'll come back to this later. So we have 4 12 and 9 12. If I stack them up, that is 13 12s. How many wholes can you get? How many 1 wholes can you get out of that? 1 whole, and you have 1 left over. 1 1/12. So 13/12 is equal to 1 and 1/12. Is there a mathematical way on how I could calculate that? I could have divided 13 by 12. It goes in one time. We have one left over, 1 and 1/12. So 4 and 6/12 minus 2. 13/12 is another way of saying 1 and 1/12. So what's 2 whole with 1 and 1/12? That's 3 and 1/12. Can I subtract now 4 and 6/12 minus 3 and 1/12? Yes, I can. I have enough to take away. 4 minus 3 is 1. 6/12 minus 1/12 is 5/12. So that's how much cake Arnold has left over for himself. You're going to be given different sets of questions because in real world, you do not just see fractions in isolation. You see everything through a context, a real life. And you're going to separate it into 3 piles, either adding, subtracting, and mixed number. So like combine, in all means adding. Find the difference. How much more means subtraction. All right, so our last part of the lesson is, what do you remember about one whole? This is probably one of the hardest lessons in adding and subtracting fraction. This is one whole. Can you rename one whole as another fraction? Like how many halves does it take to make one whole? 2 halves. How many thirds does it take to make one whole? 3 thirds. How many eighths does it take to make one whole? 8 eighths. So do you remember that? Is that coming back to you? Well, because if you remember that, you should be able to do these type of questions. Kelly bought 9 1/4 yards of blue fabric and 6 5/8 yards of red fabric. How much more blue fabric did she buy than red fabric? So how much more mean I need to subtract? My expression will be subtraction. Can I rename, what do you notice about the denominator? 1/4 and 5/8. Can I rename 1/4? Wait, the other one is 5/8. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. Can I rename 1/4? Isn't that the same thing as 2/8? It is. So I'm going to rename 1/4 as 2/8. Let me use a different pen color. 9 2/8 minus 6 5/8. Can I take away 5/8 from 2/8? Let's set it up this way if this is easier for you. I can do 9 minus 6, but can I do 2 minus 5? No, I cannot take away 5/8 from 2/8. So we are going to be doing something called regrouping, and I know you learned this from elementary school. Just like in regular subtraction, I need to regroup from the 9 whole. It becomes 8 whole. So what am I taking away from this 9? I'm taking away 1 whole. So here we have right here. Can I rename this 1 whole as a fraction? What fraction would I like to rename it? Well, since we're talking about eighths, let's rename this as eighths. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. So again, I'm renaming. So I regroup from the 9 become 8. I took away 1 whole. So I replaced the 1 whole. I renamed it as 8/8. How many do I have in all? 10/8. Let's look at our picture. 1 whole is 8/8. With this original 2/8 is 10/8. Now can I take away 5 of them? Let's cross out. Do, 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 do. I am left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. So 5/8. 8 minus 6 is 2 and 5/8. Let's practice one more. Kate and Ben are collecting aluminum cans to earn money for her school project. So far, Kate has collected 16 2/3 pounds of cans. Ben has collected 14 and 3/4 pounds. How many more pounds has Kate collected than Ben? So Kate is a better recycler, as I can tell. So this is a subtraction problem. So what does 2/3 and 3/4 share in common? What is their common denominator? It is twelfths. Can I rename 2/3 as the twelfths? 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12. So 16 and 2/3 can be renamed as 8/12. How can I get that through arithmetic? I multiply the numerator and denominator by 4s. Minus. What's another way to rename 14 and 3/4 using 12s? 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12, and 9/12. Now let's subtract. 16 and 8/12 minus 14 and 9/12. I can do 16 minus 14 is 2. But can I take away 9 from the 8? I cannot. I'm going to have to regroup. 16 becomes a 15. What did I take away? So 16 whole becomes 15. What did I take away to become 15? I took away 1 whole. Can I rename that 1 whole? What can I rename that 1 whole so it has the same denominator? I can rename it as 12s. 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12, 9/12, 10/12, 11/12, and 12/12. So I renamed this 1 whole as 12s. How many 12s are there? How many 12s do you see? Whoops. How many 12s do you see right here? There's 20 of them. 12 12s plus 8 12 is 20 12s. Now, can I take away 9 of them away? Let's cross out 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many do I have left over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 12s. So 15 minus 14 is 1 and 11 12. And that is how you regroup and subtract and add fractions from last year.